Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Friday, the 18th of September. Apparently it's the 50th anniversary of the demise of Jimi Hendrix. But for Alba Mineral Resources, we see the shares soaring, hitting the initial, well, I suppose that was the second target we had. The initial target was actually towards 0.17. The second target, which was a very optimistic one at the time, up to 0.35, 0.36, which we've just hit. And for those who want to keep the dream alive and chasing this higher, the view is that while we're above the initial September resistance at 0.297, the target here could be up to that January 2019 resistance line projection as high as 0.45. We've got all the moving averages there in golden cross mode between the 50 and 200 day lines, so this really has been a great recovery for Alba in recent weeks. On to stock which is rather less dramatic at the moment, but could fulfill a decent upside. Nice move today for Beowulf Mining. Just approaching that old or initial June resistance there at 6.38 pence, an end of day close above that, and we could be looking towards the 1 year resistance line projection at 9 pence, and in fact looking at that now, it could actually be a bit higher than that, up to 11 pence, which is a more logical resistance line projection and price channel top, which fits the daily chart at the moment. This stage only really back below, I suppose, the 5 pence level, which was initial resistance for September, really delaying the upside scenario. On to a stock with a great epic code and good news today as well. Fusion Antibodies. Here we've got the shares really rocketing. Initially I had a target of £2, but obviously that's been beaten rather easily. The view at this stage is probably, at least while we're above that resistance on the way down, around £1.80, we could see a follow-on move towards £2.80, which is that the top of the triangle from March this year. So a little bit more on the upside if you are into high-octane situations, but ideally the shares remain above 180 ahead of any further upside. On to a stock which is rather less dramatic, but may also do decent work for the bulls. We've got Gulf Marine Services rather. Here we've got a triangle break for the shares, also breaking the 50-day moving average at 10.85 pence, an end of day close above that, and we could be heading off towards the top of the rising trend channel from May as high as 20 pence. Time frame on that the next month to 6 weeks. Stop loss really back below 9.5 pence, obviously that September bear trap support that we've had. Gunsynd had a good test of former resistance yesterday, so old resistance on Gunsynd at the 1 pence level, and now coming in with a new test on recent highs at 1.29, but the view here is that previously was while we're above 0.8 up to 1.8, now it looks like up above 1 pence. We could still hit 1.8 pence over the next month or two for this particular stock. I haven't looked at Metal Tiger for a while, so it's worth having an update there. Here the situation is that had a nice rising trend channel since December, above the floor of the channel and the 50-day moving average at 24 pence. The upside here could be as high as 40 pence, which is that December resistance line projection. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe wait for an end of day close above initial September resistance 29 pence, but it does look as though enough good work has been done here already to take the shares up towards 40 pence over the near term. Still waiting on Orphan to give the big strong breakout, but decent consolidation with higher highs and lows really since the beginning of July. The view here is that while we're above the 50-day moving average at 13.5, the top of that trend channel from May at 19 or even 20 pence could be on the cards over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Remote monitored systems is the next contender. This has been rather volatile to say the least, but it looks as though after pulling back from 0.7 pence to around 0.35 pence earlier this month, an end-of-day close above 0.43, the initial September resistance could take the shares back to 0.7, hopefully as soon as the end of next month, and perhaps even sooner. On to Crimson Tide, which is a rather less volatile situation, rather more gentle for traders. Here we've had an initial attempt at the breakout through the 3 3/4 level, 3 3/4 pence level. The view is that if we can get a decent end-of-day close above 3 3/4, we would then head up towards the top of the rising trend channel from August last year, currently pointing or suggesting a 7 pence target over the next 2 to 3 months. Stop loss at the moment back below 3 pence. Just a couple of contenders to go now. First is Thor Mining, which has been one of the more consistent rises of the recent past, a bit of a share talk favourite as well. We hit that initial target there, 1.1 pence at that December resistance line, and the view now is that at least while we're above the the 0.9 pence area, 0.9 to 9.5, we could still have a new leg to the upside up to that August resistance line projection from last year as high as 1.6 pence. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe wait for an end-of-day close through 1.1 pence before assuming a fresh leg to the upside. The reward for the recovery of the year, recovery of the week rather, stock is Zoetic. Here we had quite a dip we had a double top really from 24 pence and last month's peak. A bear trap below 20 pence and the 20-day moving average, but we're back in the zone, let's say between 20 and 24. End of day close above 24 though should be enough to give us a new leg to the upside and an August 2019 resistance line projection target as high as 40 pence over the next 4 to 6 weeks. At this stage, only really back below that gap around 16, 17 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. That's it for me today. More updates next week.